From the wastelands of the internet, once again I come. I am the Nomad. Greetings, everybody. I hope that you're having a good day so far. It'll be an interesting day. I've got a lot of stories for this Memorial Day weekend. Um, I know everyone kind of ignores this weekend. It's supposed to, memorialize, of course, those that are fallen to set us free and keep us free. And there are those who went to war and then didn't come back. For the Navy, there are people on eternal patrol. For the Army, well, they did their all, and they fell where many of them are buried where they stood, right, or where they fell rather. So I want you to just remember that, keep that in mind. Just remember the men and women who have served, especially those who actually did make it back, but came back with horrific injuries. Right? They deserve our support. They deserve everything that we can do. Give them for keeping us free. Right, on this day. It's not for the veterans that survived and came back whole, such as myself. All right. It's for those. It's to remember those who didn't make it and those who suffered and continue to suffer. All right, just to keep us free. That all said, we got lots of news. I see Batman. I see Jensen. I see TM. Good morning, Matt Barkley. I see you as well. And yes, it's still morning for me. But let's get into the news. We got lots of news. We got a ton of news. So let's get started. First, Just Stop Oil. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Just Stop Oil is at it again. All right. Just Stop Oil protesters, including a GP, storm onto Twickenham. All right, pitch to bring a rugby final to a halt with orange powder demonstration. Just Stop Oil protesters, including a GP, which I assume is a general practitioner doctor, all right, have stormed the pitch at Twickenham. Is that how you say it, Batman? Welcome.
Yeah. Hello.
So it's Twickenham. Is that how it's pronounced?
What? Where? Do the rolly bit.
Twickenham.
Twickenham.
Twickenham. Okay.
Twickenham.
All right. Now, can I ask a question here? All right.
No.
As we go through the stories and show the protesters, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised that the rugby people just didn't beat the holy hell out of them right there and then throw them to the fans, never to be seen again.
That's what I would have done.
All right, but I do have a question. How big is rugby? Is not an American sport. How big is rugby as a sport?
Rugby is almost as big as the real football.
Is it?
Yeah. You've got rugby union. You've got rugby league. There are differences. I don't particularly know what they are. I just like seeing people getting hurt.
Okay, Batman. Just so you know that you can look at
I heard
the stories as they come through. Okay. Now, orange powder on a pitch is not going to stop anybody from doing anything. It's not going to stop the rugby match at all, right?
Shouldn't think so.
And I think these guys just ran onto the field and so forth. Now, is GP a general practitioner? Is that what it is? A general practitioner?
Yes.
Okay.
At least it used to be. I don't know if it still is.
Well, when you use the term GP, because you also use the term MP, right?
Yeah, member of parliament.
Right, and so I wasn't sure if there was some other thing that was associated with the GP versus the MP.
Well, If you the astronaut Colonel George Taylor, GP would be guerrilla police. No, GP. Yeah, Dr. Patrick Hart. Yeah, GP, general practitioner.
Okay.
He's the guy you go and see when you got nothing actually wrong with you.
The one who diagnoses the fact that you're insane and you're a hypochondriac.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The kind in the UK who says, "Have you not tried going for a walk and watching what you eat?"
Well, the other they said that one was a GP and the other one was a construction worker. Now the construction worker somewhat surprises me. Right?
Yeah.
They would be involved in this kind of stupidity. Okay.
Yeah. I find that hard to believe. In fact, I find a GP hard to believe because most of the people who, for one reason or other, just aren't in work, like the students or the retirees, or they've got enough money that they don't have to work.
I think the GP was a retiree, to be honest. I think he's made his money and he was doing it for.
So in his case, GP stands for Gone Potty.
Okay. All right, but protesting is a wonderful art shared across the pond here, as we sit up there and have protesters too.
These aren't protesters; they're rioters.
All right. Outdoor San Francisco meeting moved inside after protester throws brick towards the stage.
See, that's not a protester. A protester is somebody. They'll get in contact with
United Nations
town hall.
A San Francisco
we'll
city meeting.
March down this street. Okay, we'll have the police cordon off traffic. Motorized traffic, and you march down that street. People on the sidewalk can see you. People in the shops can see you. Yeah, I'll probably get on telly. That's a protest. These are rioters.
This is hilarious to me because these are a bunch of leftists.
Yeah, I will stand up for your right to protest. I will not stand up for your right to riot.
Well, look, protesting is one thing. Are you really protesting, or are you doing something else? But these guys here, right, as you can see, this is the mayor. Right, and this is their board of supervisors, and they are getting absolutely, castigated for their policies. All right, there's two policies that are really starting to bug them, right? And of course, what are those policies? One, as you saw, all right, they have this huge homeless issue going on where people are just going in front of businesses and setting up camp, right? And people have started to notice this, okay, and it's gone through the roof. Let alone not just.
Well, it went through the roof a long time ago.
But not just this, but crime and everything else is going through the roof, and people have had enough. And I'm not talking about the people in San Francisco because they haven't had enough. Okay, with all due respect, it's not. They haven't had enough. They voted for this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And according to what Maddie was saying in the Discord, they got rid of the guy they voted in, and then they wanted him back.
Hi, Susan. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Susan's biggest fan.
They voted for this. They knew what this leftist lunatic was like. She came in there. She did everything she promised. Okay, this is the thing that everyone doesn't want to hear. She implemented all the policies she promised to put in. Okay, and those policies have destroyed San Francisco because all the businesses that used to go to San Francisco for conferences and conventions and all the tourism that they've had, all of it is starting to dry up rapidly. And what else is happening is all the people who used to live there, guess what they're doing? They're leaving. They're fleeing.
Well, do you blame them?
No, I don't. I blame them in the sense that they voted for this shit, and then they're moving near me.
Also because they've seen the U.S. Marine engineers putting down those geological charges along the fault line. We all know it's not really the U.S. government who's doing that. It's that fucking Lex Luthor again, isn't it?
For all I know, it's the rest of the don't stop oil protesters coming out there. Right? Really?
Just not don't stop oil. That's something entirely different. That's us. They're just stop oil.
True. Very true. And where are they getting this from? Right here.
I mean, they say they want to debate the topic. They don't,
No.
because they know if the topic is debated, they will lose.
Right. They just want to screech. All right. Shelly Ann Rodriguez, all right, an unhinged New York City college professor, cursed out an anti-abortion student, all right, and then holds a machete to a Post reporter's neck. All right. This woman, all right, is a supposed college professor. Now, what she did, and you can take a look at the viral videos; they're all over the place, right? What she did was go over to these people that were, they were anti-abortion protesters. They're saying this is life, and this woman tried to castigate them, and then attacked their little booth that they had set up, right?
Yeah.
And
she sounds about as unhinged as a bead curtain.
Right now, she goes, "You don't know anything about this," and they're like, "They were willing to have the debate or the conversation, the discussion right then and there." She had.
Can I ask a question? Hold on. Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
She said you don't know anything about it. How the fuck does she know? Seriously, how does she know what these people do or do not know? I don't care.
Maddie. Well, welcome. Hey, Sean. Welcome. Maddie, if you want to join us, feel free. All right, just go to my Discord and pop on in. All right. No, they came in here. She started. She knocked over their booth. They basically gave her a suspension, right? Saying, okay, well, we want you to go home, don't come to work for a while, so that until things cool down. Well, a New York Post reporter decided to go visit her, and she threatened them. Came out with a machete, put it next to his neck, then saw that he was being filmed, right, and then ran back inside.
I would insist on criminal charges if I'd been that reporter.
Oh shit! The criminal charges have been filed, and the college, I will give the college credit. At that point, when this video came out, they said, "Okay, you're fired."
I know it doesn't really make any difference, but is she of West African extraction?
I think she's just I don't know where her ancestry came from. I think it was from the country. I mean from the United States. I think she's just another leftist lunatic who has lost it. Right, as part of the she's part of the United States, but she's lost it. Right, quite frankly. Okay. She got.
Hello, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
Hello.
Right. I mean, this woman. You came out with a machete to threaten a reporter. How stupid do you have to be?
Yeah, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's a machete.
I don't know. Did you see the story, Maddie?
I'm looking at it now. Hold on, let me mute the stream before I start hearing an echo. Fuck.
Oh,
okay. All right.
It's all the
Because with my brain, the last thing I need to hear is an echo.
I'm finding it amusing that you've got the headline there, and then underneath the headline there's help for hair loss.
Hey, I might need that soon.
Oh yeah, I don't
it's too late for me.
Here's the story I was referencing, though, Maddie. So
okay,
I'll put it up on the thing.
Hinge NYC. Wow.
She didn't just curse these students out, though. Like I said, she freaking tried to destroy their booth.
Jeez.
Yeah, she's unhinged. Like I said.
No. You have to have hinges to be unhinged. She doesn't have hinges.
Yeah, you said, buddy.
As Mama would say, which is Vicki Lawrence's character, she's playing hockey with a warped puck.
Like you said, buddy. She's as unhinged as a bead curtain. Or a friend of mine like to say she's as unglued as a box full of soapy frogs.
My whole thing is if she is one of those, beaded curtains, all that's left are the strings.
Yeah. Oh no, the beads are still there. It's the strings that have gone.
The thing is this is what these leftists do, and how do they get paid? This is how they get paid. Right? Michigan State suing professor that they alleged made them fund a leftist group, and they're exactly right. At least two
Uh,
students at Michigan State University filed a suit against their former professor in federal court, alleging she forced them and fellow students to give money to her leftist political group. Nathan
Wow.
Barberi and Nolan
Hold on a minute.
Ramdonsky.
How did she force them?
He's reading. He's gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. All right. Alleged that university officials, including their former professor Amy Wisner or Weisner, I don't know how you pronounce that. The town
Wisened.
that I was from was
Wiesent.
we pronounced it Wisner. All right.
Yeah.
Infringed on their First Amendment rights when Wisner, all right, required them and approximately 600 other students to purchase a $99 membership for the rebellion community, according to a report. The acquisition of the membership was part of Wisner's class requirements for the 2023 spring semester, the lawsuit reads.
Fuck that!
Oh,
This is how they fund that.
I would have switched my courses.
Yeah. Yep. I
Well,
would switch my course.
the thing is you don't know until then, and there are penalties for just switching courses in some of these universities.
I don't care. It would be the principle of the thing.
Yep.
Well, if you can afford it, sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Or I would have just dropped out and gone and got a job.
I would have actually, I would have taken the fees and shit, and I would have gone to the dean and go, look, I don't agree to this. I don't want to pay this, and she's making us pay this. Is there any way that you can tell her that she needs to take this off the fucking syllabus for the course?
Well,
Actually, one better, Maddie.
Hmm.
It would have been better if you'd taken the fees and the paperwork involved, and gone to all of the medias.
beaded curtains with those strings. That's how made her hair. No, the thing about this is this is how they do it. This is how they fund themselves. Is they put these things in the syllabus, and what really needs to happen is these schools need to be held accountable. I have no problem, all right, that they filed suit against the school as well. Absolutely not, because this is how they do it. Okay, this is how they get their money. All right, to do this radical BS crap of theirs. It's not about education. It's about propaganda and basic brainwashing.
We got
Nomad.
Back in the 70s, when social studies was introduced to curriculum, we were taught about this. Invasion of the media of education, and forcing students to think and act in a certain way. And we were told that was from the Marxist Handbook.
Yeah. Well,
but now with education, you won't be taught that because the Marxist Handbook is winning out.
Sad but true. Very sad but true.
Yep.
And that little shit is on the side video.
Yes. We're not going to talk about him, though. I don't think.
No.
I ditched his story because of that. We're talking about Mizzy, folks, in case you're wondering, because we're getting ready for the next story. Now, Maddie, you're a mother, right?
Yep.
Okay. Terrifying floods ravage Spain's Mediterranean coast as hot weather hits the UK. Child is rescued when mother tries to cross a raging floodwaters with a pram, and the driver is swept away in their car in shocking scenes.
I've got a question.
Watch
Hold on,
this.
I've got a question. Hold on, I've got a question, Norman. What's hot weather hitting the UK? It's warm. It's not as warm as it should be this time of year, but it's warm.
Okay, let's
Yay, ad.
We'll get rid of the ad, or try to skip the ad. There we go. This is the floodwaters in Spain. Okay, as you see, it's just roaming around. And now look how fast this water's running.
Yeah.
This idiot tries to go through this.
Yep.
Dum.
Hey, it's not that deep. No,
Wrong accent. Wrong accent.
It'll get deeper as you go down, pal. All right.
Maddie, he was an Italian tourist.
No. Basically, and I'll translate it into English in a minute. He went up to the intersection and went, "Yo puedo cruzar esto sin problema." I'm gonna say,
now watch this woman. Now watch this woman, Daddy. See this woman?
No, I'm gonna need a few minutes. Yeah. I'm going to need a few minutes muted after Maddie
There's
did,
a baby in here,
did
by
that.
the way.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
baby
she's
in this
stupid.
thing.
I'm see. This is why we need tests for common sense when people are trying to be parents. Because there are some parents that don't need to be parents. Because that is a parent right there that makes a box of rocks look like they have a PhD in rocket science.
Now,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if people understand.
These are the people who make Maddie's comment idea valid, that you just remove the warning labels off everything.
Right?
Replace the warning labels with "We dare you" labels.
I mean, good Lord, there's a difference. That's a fucking stroller, not a goddamn boat.
Now, you see that water and
Yep.
how fast it's running. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Kill them.
even if that was only 2 inches of water, okay? Folks, if you step into 2 inches of water at that,
It's gonna knock your feet
surprise the
away.
hell out of you just how far up your leg it'll go.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's
Mhm.
moving that fast.
It's not just that. You step into water moving at any speed, and your feet are going to be hydroplaning.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to be that much easier for the water, especially on something like tarmac. So it's going to be that much easier for the water to knock you off your feet.
So
Yeah.
I realize that she doesn't realize how deep this may be, all right? But you have to look at that and go, okay, this looks a lot deeper than I want. To sit there and go, you know what? I'm just gonna wheel my child out. Oh, look at little Johnny.
No. That's not that. That aside, not knowing how deep it is aside, she was probably standing there when the motherfucking car went nope and
Yep.
went up the street fucking backwards because of the flood water.
Now what she's probably thinking is,
After seeing the car go nope the wrong way on the damn street because of the flood water, and then she continued to try and cross the street. That is a dumbass of the millennia. Forget the decade, forget the century, forget the day of the month. She's a dumbass of the millennia.
She probably thought that God's going to protect her child. He's going to be like Moses.
I don't think so.
It almost what the child always was like Moses, carried away to be hidden in the bulrushes.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that a small boat would make it in that kind of stuff. I don't think it could go up that. I really don't.
No, but at least it would float. At least it would float, unlike the stroller.
Until it tipped over, yeah.
Like I said, briefly. But we all know that Nomad could easily cross that.
Anyway.
Although if he did, he'd divert the floodwaters and end up wrecking the rest of the town.
Now, what would have topped it off on that video is, what would have been the cherry on the cake is if some idiot was surfing it all the way down the road on a surfboard.
I know people who would.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're the same age as me, they still would try it.
Yeah. And
I may be one of those people. I'm not saying.
And they would end up hurt, probably. Right? One of the things about this, though, that gets me is this woman was being told by the other people that were around her, don't go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right on out there.
How dare you tell me what to do? I'm a woman.
There's a difference between being stubborn and being stupid.
There's a fine line between stubbornness and stupidity.
Well, she crossed it. She didn't just cross it. She jumped over the motherfucking line.
No. Get it right, Maddie. She tried to cross it, but her baby nearly got swept away.
Yeah. Thank God that guy went out there and grabbed her.
You're welcome.
Because that child would have. They would never.
Yeah.
But when they found the child, if they found the body, right, it would just be a body, because there's nothing you can do in those situations. And see, even for an adult to try and cross that, if they tried to cross it, they could end up. They would have easily ended up in the same situation, because you can't swim against that. Yeah. Right. You'd be lucky if you try and cross that,
you're not an Nomad. If you try and cross that, you're not an adult. You're an adult.
All right, let's get on to the next wonderful story, because we're regressing, folks, here in America. Maryland dad beat to death.
Oh, really?
After protecting his kid in a middle school fight. A Maryland father was brutally beaten to death outside his home while protecting his children from a group of teenagers and adults who wanted to finish a fight that started at school, according to the man's family. Christopher Michael Wright, 43, was outside his home Friday when he was confronted by 3 teens and 2 adults who were looking for his fiance's 14-year-old son, who had gotten into a fight with another teen at the Brooklyn Park Middle School earlier in the day. When Wright told the group that the boy was not going to come outside and fight, they told him, if he's not going to fight, you're going to fight. Said
Wow.
Tracy Karopchinsky. I'm not trying to butcher your name, ma'am.
Eastern European guy.
All right. The group attacked Wright, who was later taken to an area hospital where he died from traumatic brain injury on Saturday. Okay. For
Let me hold on. What went on here? Hold on a minute, Nomad. I'm going to try and
let him give context.
Let me give the context, Batman.
Okay.
First of all, according to all the witnesses, he threw the first punch, meaning Michael Wright did. But after being told that and being surrounded by 5 people, I can understand why.
You've got no choice.
The second thing is as he was on the ground, they repeatedly kicked him and bashed his head into the concrete.
That's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Let's see if I can do this. Karopchinsky.
Could be.
Good for you. Because I would have said something European and kept going.
Yeah, I noticed Nomad was having trouble with the name.
He has trouble with most foreign names.
Well, that's because he's unused. He's unused to Earth names. I mean, he's more used to things like Kal-El.
Now,
like the rest of the people who used to live on him.
Now, the reason I even did this story, right, is because
it's horrific.
This is what we're going into now, right? No, why did the family say, okay, we're gonna finish this fight, and you bring 5 people with you?
Yeah,
it's like I keep saying, they're not adults; they're children with grown-up bodies.
It's cowardly.
Well,
yes,
you're bringing the teens' relatives over. All right, it's going back to the Hatfield-McCoy mentality of vigilantism.
You know what happened?
Another example of vigilantism that's going to happen in this country.
You know what happened? Those 2 kids had that fight, right? And that guy, the guy who got killed, his son or stepson won, right? And the other kid got his family to go over and beat this kid up. Probably. If he hadn't been pummeled to death, that kid would have been pummeled to death.
Right. Well, that's exactly what would have happened.
And that is horrific.
Oh well, it is. And what's worse is they still haven't arrested anybody.
I think they all should. Every member of that family who was there should be arrested and given severe custodial sentences. Yeah,
they should be charged with murder, and they should be.
Neither one.
They should all go because this was a murder. This was obviously a murder. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And it was premeditated. These were 2 teens.
It was
charged.
Premeditated. It was a premeditated murder, not necessarily him, but they were there to murder somebody.
Yes. Well, they were there. They were there to increase bodily harm. They obviously wanted bodily harm. When you're bashing somebody's head into concrete, you're trying to give them grievous bodily harm.
You're trying to kill them.
Well,
yeah,
that's true. That's true too. But that's my point. If these the police are too busy, all right, doing stupid ass shit where they can't and they don't arrest anybody. They're not arresting the big criminals. They're not arresting the little criminals. They're not doing shit.
They're arresting people for misgendering people. Yes, sir. Was anybody misgendered? No. Was anybody triggered by it? Yeah, by a negative buzzword? Nope. Well, there's nothing we can do, sir.
Susan, bring back public hangings. We're gonna get to that.
No, not public hangings, Susan. Got a better idea, and it would work because it used to work. Bring back public stocks. You put somebody in the stocks for a day or 2. Obviously, you've got to feed them, right? But
they were fed with rotten vegetables being thrown.
No, they actually got fed properly. But during the day, they get stuff thrown at them, and you could actually have a stall there, right? If it's the UK, you pay £1 to throw a rotten tomato or something, right? If you pay $1. You're going to actually end up drumming up fucking money for your local community. They're not only going to learn the lesson, they're going to help the community.
Notice how Batman always comes up with a way to make money on these schemes. I'll admit that he's not
Right, it's the way it
schemes
used to be
are
done.
not taking public funds. I'll give you that.
Yeah. It pays for itself, basically.
Yeah, let's get on to this next one. When I talk about the big guys are not getting, nothing's happening to them, here's an example. Did Senator Robert Menendez and his wife get a car, a DC apartment, and other gifts from a New Jersey business?
Yes.
Okay. The Justice Department is investigating whether expensive gifts were allegedly given to New York, Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and his wife, including a Mercedes-Benz, a
I just saw
luxury
her
DC
picture.
apartment, money, and jewelry, sources familiar with the matter said. According to the sources, investigators want to know if the gifts, which could be valued in the tens of thousands. No. A luxury apartment in DC isn't tens of thousands. It's hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Came from the owner or associates of Edgewater Business that won a controversial exclusive contract to perform halal meat certification with the Egyptian government, even though the United States Department of Agriculture officials complained that the New Jersey firm had no experience in the field. Now,
Hey, I got a question. I got a question. I got a question. Can they give me just 1 month's rent for that apartment so I can pay my cancer bills? Can I have the cash value for the Mercedes? Because that was setting me up for a while. Hi, hello, I'm over here. Hi.
Actually, Susan, I just had a look because you piqued my curiosity. You can go between 1 and 2 months without food.
Yeah, and this was one of the things that I was going to mention too. All right, this bastard, they let this flipping piece of shit go, even though he was sex trafficking. All right, and the evidence, if you look at the evidence, okay, he was sleeping with 13 and 14-year-old girls down in the Dominican Republic. Okay, there's no question about this. Okay,
I used to sleep like
and yet
Nomad.
they
I used to
charged
sleep
this
with
son of a
13
bitch.
and 14-year-old
They
girls.
charged this son of a bitch with all this evidence, video evidence, and everything else, right? And they went to a Jersey court, and those bastards let him off in. Oh, no, it didn't rise to this level. Yep. Bullshit!
Nomad, I've got to admit, I used to sleep with 13 and 14-year-old girls.
Yeah,
when you were 13 and 14?
No, when I was 12.
Damn, you started early.
Yeah.
He was being raped early on in his life.
Oh, no, it wasn't rape.
All right.
All I'm saying is, whether it's the monetary value of the Mercedes or a couple of months worth of rent for that apartment, I'm here. I got bills to pay.
Right?
Nomad, I saw the picture. I saw his wife. Senator Bob Menendez should have asked for one of his gifts to be for a new wife.
He can get that whenever he wants. Honestly, I hate to say that, but it's true. But this guy is just dirty as hell, and this is the problem with the police. You got all this going on. They don't arrest this guy. Oh, we're doing an investigation. No, what investigation? Just take your evidence right now and immediately sit up there and charge this son of a bitch. All right, and start convicting him. Don't tell me that there's a lot to investigate. No, there's nothing to investigate here. You know the guy is dirty. You know the guy. You've got the evidence sitting right in your hands. No, they're trying to find a way to sit up there and excuse this bullshit. Because Rob Menendez is a Democrat, and we got to sit up there as the powers that be currently in Congress. All right, as he's a powerful member of Congress, so therefore we're going to make sure that we hide this stuff. Okay.
The thing is,
but if he was Republican, he'd already be caught.
Well, depends.
Like
if it was something like McCain, that son of a bitch would have been let go too.
Of course, he's dirty. He's a senator.
This guy's just bad. They need to get rid of this guy. They really do. We're not called the Soprano State for nothing. Susan. Okay. Then we have this. A 4-year-old boy was dropped over a border barrier in San Diego. And these things are high, folks. Agents who rushed to help then were shot at. Authorities on both sides of the U.S.-Mexican border are trying to find whoever dropped a 4-year-old boy from a border barrier in San Diego, U.S. Customs and Border Protection said. The incident happened at 9 p.m. on May 15th, about a half a mile east of the San Ysidro port of entry. All right. Surveillance video captured the moment when the child was dropped over the barrier by someone who was entering the country illegally. First responders who rendered aid to the injured child then came under fire. Agents reported hearing both the impact and ricochet of gunshots off the secondary border barrier just north of their location.
It sounds like that's exactly what the boy was dropped over the border barrier for.
The boy luckily did not suffer any serious injuries. Although I wonder when they say not serious injuries, sometimes broken arms and stuff are not considered serious injuries, right?
Mhm.
And the drop was at least 15 feet. Because
Jesus Christ.
you know, this is just absolutely insane, the kind of crap that's going on, and we still have everyone walking. And I blame all the politicians, all right, including Trump. I know people don't want to hear this, but Trump, as the president of the United States, could have ordered the military, all right, into the first mile of Mexico and said, "Look, we're going to stop this right now, and here's how." And said, and given an ultimatum to Mexico, saying, "No, we're not playing this game. We're not going to let you guys just come in here and flood this country. You've got 1 month to stop it, and if you don't, we will stop it. And if you dare to put your quote-unquote military in there, we will exterminate you all." That's what he should have done.
And this is what the UK should be doing with France.
You just don't like France. I know you got some serious beefs, and I know about the immigration coming through, flooding from France. I do know that. I'm not arguing that you don't have. I'm not saying you don't have standing.
Yes, we do. We used to own France at one point.
You never owned France.
Yes,
ever.
We did until King John lost it.
You did not own.
Yeah, we did.
France.
Seriously.
You owned a piece of Normandy.
No, we actually owned a huge.
The Conqueror.
No, we actually owned a huge fucking swathe of France. Most of it, in fact. Anyway, this is getting us.
Delusions of grandeur mean anything to anybody here?
Yes, you. But either way, this is getting you away from the program.
Eminent domain and go wipe out the cartels. That's not a bad idea. Actually. Now, this is an interesting story, folks, because it shows potential. All right, I do have some questions about this, but it's an interesting story. A paralyzed man can walk again naturally with brain and spine implants. Gert Jan Oxum, right, was living in China in 2011 when he was in a motorcycle accident that left him paralyzed from the hips down. Now, with a combination of devices, scientists have given him control over his lower body again. "For 12 years, I've been trying to get back on my feet," he said in a press conference on Tuesday. "Now I have to learn how to walk normal and natural." In the study published on Wednesday in the Journal of Nature, researchers in Switzerland describe the implants that provide a digital bridge between Oxum's brain and his spinal cord, bypassing injured sections. The discovery allowed Mr. Oxum, 40, to stand, walk, and ascend a steel ramp with only the assistance of a walker. More than a year after the implant was inserted, he has retained these abilities and has actually shown signs of neurological recovery, walking with crutches even when the implant is switched off.
Unfortunately, whenever his wife changes channel, he kicks her.
Now,
this ruined my joke because I read ahead and realized that the implants weren't done in China, because I would say give it 6 months, he'll be in a wheelchair again.
Yeah. The thing about this is...
No, Maddie, if the implants were done in China, give it 6 months, him and other people who've received them would be storming the White House.
All right. The question that I have about this, and it's a serious question, is does he have feeling in his legs?
That would be an interesting question.
No.
They don't say, do they?
If he can move his legs, it's provided a neurological bridge, as I said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it's connecting the part of the brain which is controlling his legs to the nerves that carry the signals. So I should imagine, yes, he would have feeling in his legs.
To the muscles.
Otherwise,
I'm talking about like
otherwise, he wouldn't be able to walk successfully because he wouldn't be able to feel the pressure of his feet and his legs.
I can see that.
He'd keep falling over.
I can see that, but it doesn't say, and I would be curious to know if he has full feeling in his legs or if it's like it's.
I suspect he will have.
You know, I hope that this. I mean, this is a great thing. All right, but it leads to this. Right. Elon Musk's Neuralink gets approval for first human study after implants tested on monkeys played Pong with their minds. Neuralink, founded by the Tesla CEO in 2016, focused on developing a brain-computer interface called the Link. Musk said the company's goal is to develop surgically embedded neural chip implants to help disabled patients move and communicate again with possible restoration of vision. This is the result of incredible work by the Neuralink team in close collaboration, with the FDA, and represents the first important step that will one day allow our technology to help many people, Neuralink tweeted. Recruitment is not yet open for our clinical trial. We will announce more information on this soon. All right, Maddie.
Did they say they were calling it the Link?
They did?
Because okay, so since they're calling it the Link, they need to look, there might be certain side effects, like all of a sudden having this urge to save this princess named Zelda from Ganondorf. I'm just saying.
No, I think they call it a Neuralink, which is even more scary. That means you're going to be walking down the street and some little old lady who's had her eyesight and full mobility restored by it is going to walk up to you and tell you that you will be assimilated. Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be added to hers. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. Is that what you're saying?
No, given the darker aspects of what this technology can do, that's where we could head.
Well, that's the question.
In all seriousness, given the
no, it's not the Borg. With our fucking luck, we'd probably wind up being Cybermen.
Why were reminded?
Do you know the difference between the Borg? Do you know? Hey, buddy, there's a very thin line between the Borg and the Cybermen. They're basically the same fucking animal.
The Cybermen are much better at dying.
That's just what the Daleks said, and I think that fight was fixed. I mean, because the Daleks are just angry fucking giant pepper pots, aren't they?
Salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah, nasty salt creators.
Can this be something that will allow people to hack the human brain? All right.
I doubt that very much. The human brain is far too complex for that kind of thing. I mean, put it this way. There are people walking around who are missing half of their brain, yet they still have full functional lives.
Yeah, we saw that. The lady just tried to cross the freaking river.
No, I'm actually being serious here. I'm being somewhat serious too. I want you to take a woman that's like that, right? That's just an idiot.
She might be an idiot, all right, but she represents a significant portion of the human population. That's
because modern technological human society is turning the Darwinian universe on its head. We live in the West. We live in a world where the weak survive at the expense of the strong. The unfit survive at the expense of the fit. And now I sound like I'm talking like somebody from Hitler's Germany.
Well, you're in good company with Pink Floyd here. Pink Floyd legend Roger Waters probed by cops after performing in a Nazi-style uniform in Berlin. Right?
That's from the wall.
It is from the wall.
That's part of the.
The only thing that gets
that's actually protesting against that kind of thing.
I know, but the only thing that I've got right here that worries me is this. What was the purpose of adding the Jewish star
there? It's the same thing. It's protesting against that kind of thing. Because the regime in the wall was basically neo-Nazi.
But
the other thing,
look at the other symbolism that. Okay, Batman. Let's take a look at this. Look at the other symbolism on there.
You let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
because I was going to say they performed this fucking show in Berlin before. Nobody was bothered about them wearing that uniform.
Oh, I know. I agree with what you're saying, but like I said, the one thing that bothers me about this situation is look what he's putting up here. First of all, he's putting up this symbol, which is supposed to be
Which
an
is
anti-fascist symbol, right? Then
that's the intertwined. That's the intertwined hammers.
Right.
It's the intertwined hammers from the wall video.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that, but it's supposed to be a fascist. It's supposed to be like a fascist type of style symbol.
Yeah.
All right. Then you have this, right? This is indicating Shell Oil, big corporation.
It could be indicating a lot of things.
Okay, but then you put this here. Why did you sit up there and put the Star of David there? That's the question that I don't think people had.
Because they knew you'd be doing a video about it.
I don't think that's. I think that look, if you want to do this, go ahead. I don't have a problem with their.
Oh, clearly you do.
I'm not a huge fan of Pink Floyd. I'll be honest with you. I think
they don't think much of your videos.
I'm sure they don't. they probably haven't even seen one of my videos.
Well, actually, Roger Waters watches you all the time and complains about you. He was telling us the other day.
Oh, was he?
Then the medication wore off.
Yeah, I'm sure. All it would take for my channel to blow up would be one tweet from him, I guarantee you.
No, all it would take for your channel to blow up is somebody from the Middle East wearing a suspiciously bulky vest to run into your house yelling that famous phrase.
Alice Snack Bar?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's just... The thing
Right,
about this
something...
is it's overblown. You're doing this after the fact. If you're going to make an issue of it, the question is people are accusing him of being quote unquote anti-Semitic. All right.
Well, I mean, if it was just the symbols on the pig that came exactly from the video, of the wall, because everybody knows what was being referenced there. Okay, that would be one thing. But when you're including Anne Frank, when you're including the Star of David and things like that are literal, not only, Jewish historical icons, but iconography from the Jewish faith and stuff, in my opinion, you've kind of crossed the line. Because now you're going from performing some aspect of the wall video to actually putting other things that don't belong there because they weren't in the video to begin with, on something that you are, that you're performing with, if I'm making any sense.
Who knows? Maybe he was actually having a go at Germany.
Well, the problem is in Germany with stuff like that, you're walking a fine line because of what Hitler did in Germany. Mm-hmm. They've outlawed all Nazi iconography.
Right. Yet they still haven't said they're sorry.
And well, that's
no. The German government's the first. The German government's after it. I think under Schmidt issued an apology.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, they also issued an apology to, if I'm not mistaken, to Israel itself directly. So I think they have, the country has, from the leadership and so forth, apologized.
I'm winding you up.
You're just winding me up.
and it's working.
It is. I'll admit that.
No, I mean, no. Let's be serious. You can't you can't take Germany to task about what Germany did in the Second World War. It's not the same country. Similarly, you can't take Japan to task for what the Japanese did in the Second World War. It's not the same country. They're not the same people at all.
Oh, I agree. Well, I agree that they have modernized. Right.
It's not just that.
Culturally, both of the nations have modernized. All right, but then again, everyone in Europe and like Japan, right? I'm not going to say all of Asia, have modernized to the point where culturally they are a monetary type of state. They're a state that runs off of a monetary or industrialized methodology.
It's not just that.
It's no longer
the morality
feudalistic aspect.
The morality has changed as well in Europe, in the UK, in the United States, in Japan. Yeah. Unfortunately, it hasn't in China.
China's a different animal. We're talking about something related to China. Disney to reportedly cut more than 2,500 jobs in the third wave of layoffs. The action is about to
Oh,
swing
I
in at Disney as employees brace for a third wave of layoffs this week.
I'm
Workers
waiting for
will be
people to drive
notified
past.
this week if they will be getting pink slips, according to a report from CNN. More than
I'm waiting
2,000
for
contract staffers are expected to lose their jobs following two previous rounds of cuts in March and April, meant to keep the companies restructured and focused on stemming its losses to its
good luck with that.
streaming division. This here, by
Uh,
the way, is their
Nomad.
yeah.
What
Well,
I'm
they're
waiting
closing
for
now.
now, what I'm waiting for now is for people to start seeing Ray sitting on the off ramp to the freeway, holding up a sign saying, "We'll do Jedi mind trick for food."
Oh, it's like they're closing down their Galactic whatever the fuck because it was overpriced and nobody could
The
afford it.
Galactic
Their streaming
wasn't-
service over the last month has lost over 4
Yeah.
million subscribers, me included, because it's at this point they're creatively bankrupt. They can't write their way into anything, much less out of anything.
Yeah,
So
with the Galactic-
they're hemorrhaging things. The only people that I feel sorry for are the employees that are losing jobs because now they have to sit there and find somewhere else to work.
Mm.
But as far as Disney's concerned, they did this to themselves. They really did.
As far as the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel goes, that lost money because it was shite.
It was not only shite. It was
No,
so fucking overpriced. It was ungodly.
Yeah. It was overpriced and it was shite because I believe it was that Star Wars girl who actually got to stay in it, and there was nothing to fucking do.
Well,
and I don't think you could leave the fucking thing either.
Well, that's true. All right, the what they put as a product for that. Okay.
Yeah, they literally did experience what it would be like to be on an interstellar fucking luxury liner.
That's true.
There was nothing to fucking do.
Well, which is you would have to, if you were going to do something like this, right? You would have to offer certain amenities. Let's be honest. And the Star Wars experience, I thought the concept I thought was good. The implementation I thought was just horrible. And Maddie's right about the fact that look, if you're going to do something like this, you've got to keep the price way down. Why? Because once people go in for that experience, that's all it is. It's the experience. Okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to want to necessarily go back. So there's not going to be repeat customers, is what I'm trying to say.
And you don't want to be staying there for more than a day. Really.
Well, it's the last time I forgot who released the prices and stuff on the video for it, but a family of 4 had to have a minimum of a 2-night stay, and it was like $6,000 for 2 nights.
Yeah.
To stay there. And it's like, nobody can afford that.
Yeah, and like it says, I don't think you were allowed to leave while you were booked in there.
Well, I mean, it's not only that, it's they've probably been losing money with their parks too, because it's when they started when they put their Star Wars wing attraction or site. I don't know what the fuck you call it when it's an amusement park, so you guys are just gonna have to excuse me. They had a lot of restricted rules, like you couldn't walk in there and cosplay. You couldn't have any kind of costume, whether you were cosplaying or not. You couldn't go in there with any kind of Star Wars merchandise whatsoever. They would not allow it at all.
Yeah.
Period.
You know what you're gonna start hearing up and down the United States?
Oh,
you want fries with that? Oh.
The thing is,
God, bankruptcy. Oh, sorry.
That's what they're headed to.
Oh.
Honestly,
my bank account. Yeah.
The concept.
Okay,
like
man,
said,
it's time for you to go on the game.
I like the concept of what they were trying. The problem is that they couldn't implement it the way they were trying, especially for keep the cost down to the way that they needed to do it. All right?
It's a funny one.
They priced themselves out of the market, because if I remember correctly, when Walt Disney first opened this historically, he wanted it affordable for every family at every fucking income to be able to afford it to go and have fun. Yes. Now you can't have the lower income and the medium income in the middle class people. We can't afford the shit.
Yeah, he wanted that because he not only came from a working class background, but he came from a working class background in the fucking Depression.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would want people to be able to easily afford it. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm finding amusing? I don't know if the place is still going, but in the 80s, and it became a fucking very successful place. There was this themed holiday camp, right?
Mhm.
Do you know what the theme was?
Hmm.
It was set up as a World War II German prisoner of war camp, and
Eh?
you went in there, and the object of the holiday was to escape the prisoner of war camp.
Oh wow.
But it
Kind of
was
like an
huge.
escape room camp style.
Yeah, it was hugely popular.
I could
And
just, I could just imagine the boardroom though when they're looking at the numbers for Disney and how much they're losing, and they look over at Mickey, and Mickey goes, "Oh boy, we're screwed without lube."
Well, they
Uh,
did it to
oh,
themselves.
don't look at me, fellas.
All right, and but Sean's right. These guys tried to satisfy quote unquote whales. They did this with the idea totally against what Walt Disney had created, the
Yeah,
mhm.
mentality of Disneyland and Disney World for. All right, they wanted
that's
just the super rich to be able to do this. But even if you
Yeah.
yeah.
target the super rich, once again,
The super rich
why
aren't
would
for
they
it.
come back? You're going
Why
to
would the
have
super?
repeat business here in
Yeah.
order for people to sit up there and survive. This now in
No
casinos.
nuts. No
No, hold
nuts.
on a second.
This is
Let me
important.
finish this point. In casinos, what they do when they want to attract the big spenders, right? They give them all these little weird little perks, okay,
Yeah.
knowing that they're going to come back in and so forth. They were never going to do that with Disney. There's just no perks there to give.
No nuts.
No.
Seriously. Why would the super rich go to a place like Disney anyway? A, it's working class. B, they've got places they can go to where they're not going to even have anything, where even the people who work there are of a higher social standing than the people who
Mm,
go to a place like Disney.
In the
Yeah.
United States, the idea of social standing for rich is not as clear cut.
Yeah, you like to think that, but it is.
Not mentally, it's not because money is money. Am I wrong, Maddie? I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Money's money.
Money is money, but old money is kind of more powerful.
Um, Sean, I just looked up the rates. 2 guests per cabin is $1,209 per night per guest. 3 guests per cabin, 2 adults, 1 child, is $889 per guest per night. And 4 guests per cabin is $749 per guest per night. That's 3 adults and 1 child. That's
Yeah.
the Galactic Star Cruiser straight off their website.
That's what you'd expect to pay for a real fucking space hotel.
And people started when they first started marketing it before they released, the promo videos and stuff. People were actually putting money down and making reservations because they wanted the experience because it had Star Wars tagged on it. But then when the videos started coming out about what the attractions were and who they would see and what you would be able to do and all that shit, people started canceling their fucking reservations.
Yeah, because what the attractions were is nothing. Who you'll be able to see is nobody, and what you'll be able to do is nothing.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. See, if they had added.
You have things. Hold on. You have things like there's the alien experience where you go for you can go for a weekend or a week, and you're playing you're basically put in the position of a colonist on one of these worlds that's been overrun by the aliens, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot to do.
Yep.
Mainly running and screaming, but there's a lot to do.
Well,
Yeah.
but you could have. They would have been better off having areas where you could put people into, how do you call it? Simulators, right? Here's your
Yeah.
simulator. Go in there and start shooting at the enemy as it comes in. However you wanted to play that, right?
I would
Yeah.
actually do it live action. Yeah, a live action simulation
Well, right.
where you put people in scenarios.
Right.
Like I said, the alien experience.
Right. And so
Yeah.
you could have had all this going on. I mean,
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the parents are doing this for the kids, most likely to a large extent. So you got to have things that are meant for the adults, like a pool.
Oh, good. Hey, no, I'm sorry. What's going through my head now? The parents are doing this for the kids. The kids are going, Oh, why do we have to go to this boring
Do you
place that's
remember
themed
Wally?
after a film that Dad watched when he was a kid?
In the film, in the show Wally, right? I realize it's a cartoon, but they had an area where they all went to the pool, and then it had vistas of the entire sky and everything else going on as far as the
Yeah.
sky and everything. You
Yeah.
should have had something like that available for adults to sit up there and just go, okay, we're gonna go to the pool
Yeah.
and relax a little bit and do other things.
Yeah,
And you
one
still
of the
could
things
have
I
put
would,
it as part of this experience, right?
one
But
of the things I would have
they
done
didn't do anything like
is one of the things I
Yeah.
would have done is I would have had it a lot cheaper, like affordable, and yeah, you could look out to see the vistas of the stars slowly going by, and occasionally you'd see an actor on wires wearing a fake spacesuit cleaning the outside windows, stuff like that. Just little things.
Yeah.
No,
Here's
I'm
the
being
kick in the
serious.
pants because I'm still on their website. So you're paying all that money, right? So
Yep.
the cost of food and beverages in the cantina are not included. So you would figure for $750 per person, that would include at least one meal and one cocktail a day. At
One?
least one.
Oh
At
no,
least
more.
one.
I would insist on much more than that.
But I mean, it's minimum because I'm being generous here. Okay, the seating is not guaranteed, so you're paying $750 for you and somebody else, so that's $1,500 a day. It's not going to be guaranteed that you're going to have a seat at the cantina, and then you can only be there for 45 minutes if you have a party with
And
you.
yet,
And then
and yet,
on top of that, because $750, you have to pay if you want your own mech, your little astromech, your little droid. That's another $120 extra. Not to mention if you want a fucking lightsaber, that's $250 on top of the $750.
and yet you go to what you Americans call a mom and pop hotel. You are guaranteed a seat in the dining room, and you get 3 full meals a day, and you're paying less than normal at the bar.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get away from Star Wars now. I'm curious,
Okay.
Maddie. I'm really curious about your opinion on this story. Okay. Oklahoma legislature overrides governor's veto of tribal regalia bill. Okay, the Oklahoma legislature on Thursday overrode Governor Kevin Stitt's veto of a bill that would allow students to wear Native American regalia during their high school and college graduations.
I don't see a problem with that.
The state House and Senate easily cleared the 2/3 threshold needed to uphold the measure, which takes effect July 1st, and had strong support from many Oklahoma-based tribes and Native American citizens. It would allow.
Yeah, I don't have.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt
I'll just
you.
lead to one more story. Stitt, who's the governor, all right, a Cherokee Nation citizen who has feuded with many Oklahoma-based Native American tribes throughout his 2 terms in office, vetoed the bill earlier this month, saying at the time that the decision should be left up to the individual districts. Okay, Maddie, go.
So he's saying it should be like a county thing and not a state thing.
Correct.
That's what I'm understanding, because I don't see any problem with that. They're graduating. If they want to show their colors, if they want to show their tribal pride because they're graduating, go right ahead. I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah, and let's face it, most people who are attending the graduation, that's going to add to the experience for them.
Yeah, and I don't see why he would have.
I can't see anything. I can see it just being a good thing all around.
Yeah, because I don't see why he would have vetoed that, because it's not now.
Unless, of course, they would have been their great granddad's fucking lance of scalps.
Well, no, I mean it's. I could have seen it being a distraction. Yeah, weapons aren't allowed.
It's not a weapon anymore. It's just got scalps on it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That would have been a little gory. But I mean, I could have seen this. I could have seen the vetoing if it wasn't just for graduation. It was okay. Now you can wear your Indian stuff while you're in school, going from class to class.
Yeah.
Because some of that stuff is very. I mean, it's very. What's the word? ceremonial looking and very ornate, so that would
Yeah.
be a bit of a distraction in the classrooms. But I mean, they're
will-
graduating, and you
it
only
will-
graduate from high school and college. Well, you only
Yeah.
graduate from high school once.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like you said, it's ceremonial and ornate. It's also unwieldy to move in.
Well,
I mean, can you imagine? Hold on. Can you imagine doing a gym class in all of that gear?
no. Like I said, this is my opinion of this is if a school wants to regulate this thing, all right, they would have to have a reason behind it. For example,
Yeah.
because you guys think of just a public school, everyone just thinks of a public school.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of private schools. This is now
Yeah.
this is now something that's being forced upon the private schools to allow this to go forward.
No, hold on.
And
It
hold on,
shouldn't
but
be.
the
No.
specific private school that I'm thinking of right now is military schools. Okay,
Yeah.
militaries, they expect you to be in uniform, and now you're saying, okay, these people don't have to necessarily be in uniform. That would be my only concern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
If
the
it's a
other
pri-
concern I can
hold
see.
on, buddy.
Okay.
If it's a private organisation, private school, military school, like you say, or any kind of private school, it shouldn't affect them because they're not beholden to the state.
No. This law says they are allowed. Period. This affects everybody in that state, including private.
Yeah, everybody in the state. Yeah.
Then you might find these private schools, declining people of native birth for just that reason.
Well, I mean,
And
it's
they'd be well within the right to do so.
if you want to walk into a realm of slippery slope for a second with me, okay? So this is passed statewide, okay? It's Montessori schools, private Christian schools, any military schools in the state, and all this is, they can't say no, they can't decline it. But what's now you've got in this era, in this time of, quote unquote, diversity, equity, and inclusion, now you're going to have other races and ethnicities like, well, why can't I wear my dashiki? Why can't I wear my Indian garb? Why can't I wear my family's Mexican poncho with my family's colors on it? Why can't I wear my heraldry? If the Native Americans can do this, why can't we do this too?
I come from such and such a culture where where it's traditional for us to in ceremonial things like graduation to go as we were born.
Yeah, like I said, the trip down the slippery. Yeah, I can see it because now you're doing this for Native Americans, but there are quote unquote more marginalized people out there that also have traditions for certain ceremonies. And why can't we do it too, quote unquote?
Yeah, I know the more marginalized people. You're on about white people, right?
Speaking of graduation,
notice you didn't say I was wrong.
No. Speaking of graduation, Louisiana teenager 18 is missing after he was dared to jump overboard during a sunset cruise in the Bahamas during a graduation trip.
And the Darwin Award goes to
a desperate search for a missing Louisiana teenager has stretched into its second day after the star baseball player fell overboard. I don't think he fell overboard. He jumped overboard. All right, on a sunset cruise in the Bahamas. Cameron Robbins, 18, was on a trip celebrating his recent graduation from high school, with witnesses claiming he was acting on a dare when he jumped overboard, according to WAFB. The teen was reportedly on the boat with several other recently graduated students, and he was seen splashing in the water after jumping in before disappearing.
I feel sorry for his family, but he was stupid enough to do it.
That's one guy who's going to miss his graduation because he took a trip off the side of the boat.
Like I said, and the Darwin Award goes to.
Right.
You don't know what is in those waters. I'm not just on about wildlife. I'm on about currents and other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the sea is a dangerous thing to mess around with.
A cruise boat is a pretty large boat.
If there are other people there that can lower a ladder, but it doesn't matter. You don't know. You don't mess with the sea. The sea is dangerous as fuck.
Especially at night.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the time of day.
Well, but at night, it's at night. If you jump in the water, people aren't going to see you. They will quickly lose sight of you. There's nothing out there. There's no lights in the ocean showing you where you're at.
Nomad. In the middle of a brightly lit day, if you jump overboard, people are going to quickly lose sight of you. Even if you haven't sunk under the waves, because that's just how it happens. A friend of mine used to work for the lifeboats, and that's what he said. She said there's a lot of times you can't see somebody in the middle of the day, in a brightly lit day, even if they're relatively close to your lifeboat, because the motion of the waves, even a small wave can hide somebody. People disappear in the sea all the time. You don't mess around with the sea.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't disagree with you. Okay.
And the guy was an idiot because he's more than likely dead.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. All of a sudden, I had to plug in my headset to charge it. My headset went, "Oh, you want me to shut off?" No, fucker.
No. What actually happened was, "Oh, you make fun of us, will you?" Oh.
And now I can't hear anybody. Son of a bitch.
Go on, come back in.
Great white shark population is booming, say researchers. As summer begins and people spend more time in the ocean, researchers are on the verge of learning more about the mysterious apex predators that swim beneath the surface on a research ship in the Atlantic Ocean, 12 miles off the coast of North Carolina. A group of scientists have been studying and tracking great white sharks.
One moment, Nomad.
Seeing an ocean
Can you hear us now, Maddie?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, can you hear us now, Maddie? Maddie!
Now I can hear you.
Yay!
And we can hear you.
Good. My headset's being an ass.
Okay.
Right. Please continue, please.
Yeah.
All right. Oshwich, I don't know how to say it. All right, has been studying and tagging great white sharks for the last decade.
Oshwich.
In that time, Fisher has observed an increased number of white sharks.
Yes, those white people getting in the net again.
I don't think it's. I don't think that's it.
It's them honky sharks, man.
White shark supremacy. Oh, sorry.
Cracker sharks.
No, I thought that global warming was killing these things off.
Yeah, see, I have a question. Are they assault sharks? Because we may have to, figure out a way to control them.
Yeah, well, okay, one of the stories that I decided not to do was a story about how Norwegians are being told not to go up to the new whales because they might be spy whales from Russia.
Oh, good Lord.
So I was looking at that going, no, I'm just not going to do that story.
Hold on, the new whales.
I will say before we move on, as somebody that loves the ocean, I like to snorkel in it, but you cannot pay me enough.
Snorkel.
Oh,
I like
Lord.
to snorkel.
You could not pay me. You could not pay me enough for me to stand in a cage, get lowered into the water, and have them chum the waters for me to be up close and personal to any fucking shark. No, that's not
like you're going to, Maddie.
And the people that do that are absolutely fucking nuts.
Maddie, like you're going to have a choice in the matter.
Nope, I know.
It's very simple. If it lives in the water, it can stay in the water.
Nomad, when you say the new whales, are you on about Prince William and Princess Kate?
What?
Now, don't insult the whales. Goddamn.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, Prince wait a minute. I got them confused again. Never mind.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say, Batman?
Well,
Prince
William
is the Prince and Princess of Wales. Yeah.
Oh. No.
The Prince and Princess of Wales. Yeah, I got my princess fucked up.
Never mind.
The new Prince of Wales, to be specific.
Oh my goodness.
As opposed to the previous one?
Yeah, and I'm back to my
head. Yeah, who's now king?
On his head? So,
you said crown, correct? Because it sounded like you said crowd.
No,
see, he's not got that big a head.
All right. Now, many of you are probably going to wonder why I'm doing this story. They face LA's largest eviction in years, but these West Side renters won't go quietly.
Pay your fucking rent.
Hold on, because they are. Librarian Mika Goral has lived in the massive West Side residential complex, the Barrington Plaza, for more than 3 decades. She swims in a large heated pool nearly every day. From her one-bedroom apartment on the 10th floor, she has a view of the ocean. The building is a 15-minute bus ride from her job at UCLA, and it's rent-controlled, allowing her to retain some certainty over the housing costs, even as rents in the neighborhoods have skyrocketed. Like many of the plaza's long-term tenants, Grau planned to stay for many more years. This month, she learned that she and each of the residents in the complex's 577 occupied units were being evicted so that the owner could install fire sprinklers and other safety upgrades. Most were given 4 months to leave, though Gorel and others who are at least 62 or disabled can take up to 1 year, but Goral can't imagine leaving. I don't want to move, she said. I've been here for 34 years. It's my home. Now, first thing that comes to mind is they're not doing this. The owners are maybe
trying to,
doing an upgrade, sure, but they're really doing this so that they can charge prices.
they're doing an upscale. They want new tenants in who they can charge the same amount of rents as that is being charged in that neighborhood.
Yeah, because you don't have to kick them out to do the upgrades.
No, you don't.
Well, it depends on whether or not you got to what kind of walls you got to knock down, what kind of sprinkler systems that you're putting in.
Yeah, you could put them in temporary accommodation and promise them promise a return. Yeah, and actually give contractual return, so that they know that they're going to be moved back.
Yes, I agree. But the problem here is they're just evicted.
Yeah,
they're evicting everybody, and they're going to take their sweet time. And it's like you said, Batman. It's
upscaling.
so they can charge, all right, the higher rents because everything was.
Yeah.
These are all rent control.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope they win. The tenants, not the people, not the evictors. The evictees.
What they'll do, okay. If you think that that's a win, it won't be because you know what.
No, I said I hope.
No, this owner will do.
No, man. I said I hope that the people getting evicted win.
Yeah, I know. But do you know what the owners will do in that case? They will sit up there and bring in the indigent and the homeless, all right, and start to house them there.
Well, how can the house when apparently all of the apartments are full?
No, they just said 577 of them are occupied at the moment. That's not the total number of units.
Isn't it?
Available. No.
They could do worse than that.
Well,
no, let's face it. It's not unknown for especially in the United States. In fact, mainly in the United States, you've got problems evicting people. You get the less than savoury types of people to turn up and make them move.
Yeah, that's true.
Or even to go out to work and they come home and they find they can't get in their apartment anymore because the locks are being changed.
They can go to work and they come home and find that somebody is now squatting in their place, like the lady did from in Atlanta. Or this guy squatting in her house and she can't even sell her home now. All right. She's a military service member. She's a
I'm sorry, but I'm looking at the alligator.
Okay, well, yeah, you're looking at the alligator, but the story is far more interesting.
No, it's not.
Me, bro. Okay, Florida cop charged after tasing a man at a gas station, setting him ablaze. A Florida sheriff's deputy has been criminally charged for firing a taser at a man pumping gas, igniting a fireball that burned nearly 3/4 of his body, with the victim's lawyer railing that they're supposed to be our protectors, not our igniters.
What the hell did he fire taser for?
Osceola County Sheriff's Deputy David Crawford on Thursday was charged with culpable negligence for the caught on video incident in the Wawa gas station of Orange County on February 27, 2022. Jean Bardo Baerga, okay, was tackled by the officer after being followed by the cops responding to a report of bikers riding recklessly. Sheriff Marcus Lopez said the suspect had run red lights, ridden on the sidewalk in the grass, and headed toward oncoming traffic before pulling into the gas station. Body cam video shows Crawford tackling Baerga at the gas stop without announcing himself and shouting at his partners to turn off the pump. All right. He then decided to tase this guy.
Good God. No. Honey, you're supposed to put them in cuffs. You're not supposed to, char them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to charge. Oh, hold on. You're supposed to charge them, not char them.
Yeah.
Deputy Crawford recklessly deployed his taser at the victim who had become soaked in gasoline and as a result caused an explosion that injured the victim.
How the fuck do you get... How dumb are you that you don't know how to pump gas?
What?
How do you get soaked in gasoline? You're not supposed to take a shower in this shit.
And he ran by somebody else who's probably gas.
This is important, nonads. Mr. Quinn in the chat is asking if you can sort your sound out because he can barely hear you.
Is this better? So move
Not for us.
To the mic. I didn't say it was better for you.
These people. Look, I used to work at a convenience store. Okay, there are certain things that you don't do next to the fucking pumps. One of them is have any sparks whatsoever, and that means no fucking taser, dumbass. You're a cop.
Yeah.
You should know this shit. I remember I was working shift one day, and this lady walks in, she pays for gas, she goes out to the pump, and I'm looking up, and this stupid bitch, because this was in Georgia, not in Florida. I'm making this stipulation because this isn't a Florida story. Okay, I look up. She's pumping her gas, and then she decides that she's going to light a Newport 100 cigarette. I'm just going to leave that there. I'm just going to leave it there for everybody to digest.
Why am I seeing that scene from Zoolander in my mind?
As there's like 3 people in the store when I shut her pump off, and she's looking in the window at me, and I flip the switch for the call box at the pump, and this is exactly what I say. Ma'am, I don't get paid enough hourly to get blown to smithereens, and I'm not turning the pump back on until you extinguish your cigarette.
Yeah,
I'd go out there with a bottle of alcohol and spray it because I want to see it.
Yeah. Oh no, I'd go out there with a small petrol can filled with obviously cleaned but filled with water. And soak her with it, and she's going to panic because she's going to think it's petrol.
The 3 customers in the store started cracking up laughing. I'm like, "What? I get paid $8.50 an hour. That's not enough. I mean, you want me to risk getting blown up because some idiot wants to smoke while they're pumping gas? I need military grade hazard pay."
And to be perfectly serious, Maddie, around petrol pumps, even a fucking vape is a big no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Come for the criminals, stay for the barbecue.
Shrapnel. That's exactly what was going through Jensen's mind.
Because Jensen likes his perps medium rare.
No, Jensen likes his humans medium rare.
With fava beans and a nice Chianti. Wait, wrong person. Sorry.
Yeah, you realise that Jensen is the type of person who sneaks into tanning salons and fires anesthetic darts at people so they will cook.
Speaking of food,
police, man
shot roommate over a Hot Pocket. A Kentucky
Look, you can have all the Hot Pocket.
A Kentucky man shot his roommate in the buttocks after the victim ate his last Hot Pocket in the freezer, according to cops. All right.
Were they arguing over the Hot Pocket, or did he literally shoot him over the Hot Pocket?
You would have been paying attention. He read that part, but you were talking over him, so neither one of us got it.
All right. He basically shot this guy after he ate the last one in the freezer.
Yeah, I was trying to make a joke. I mean, it doesn't matter if you read that bit. I would have waited. Yeah, if I'd have realised, I would have waited or still made the joke because it would still have been funny.
When Williams
You
began
got shot.
throwing tiles at him, the victim told police he then attempted to fight back, right, by trying to beat his ass. The victim said that when he began to depart the property, Williams retrieved a handgun from inside the home, went back outside, and said, and the man yelled, "Don't shoot!" But Williams shot him in the ass as he was trying to leave.
Well, he didn't look. I know he was trying to help him with certain biological problems, but once you eat a hot pocket, taking a shit is not a problem.
No, Maddie, I've got it. What he was yelling was, "You want a hot pocket? I got your hot pocket right here!"
I mean, what the hell is in that hot pocket? Platinum, silver, gold, what?
Lead.
But
it's a fucking hot pocket.
This gets better. Police pictured above, Williams was arrested 4 hours after the shooting and charged with felony assault. Okay, he's being held in lieu of $7,500 bond. The guy who illegally tattooed a teenager had $25,000 bond. This guy came out there and shot somebody. We'll just let him back out. Stay away from the hot pockets, pal.
Yeah, he looks rather pleased with himself as well.
He really likes his hot pocket. I don't like them. Lord, you want the hot pocket here? You have the fucking hot pocket. I eat a hot pocket and 5 minutes later I'm in the toilet for half an hour. The fuck you just?
Yeah, that guy ate a hot pocket.
And all the hot pockets.
Hey, Maddie, that guy ate a hot pocket 5 minutes later. He was in an accident and emergency.
Right. It's in the. Well, wait a minute. It's an assault hot pocket. We need a bill. We need hot pocket control. It's an assault hot pocket. You eat it, you get assaulted. We need snack control. Can we have some legislation to control the snacks? Red flag laws.
Legislation and red flag laws. Here you go.
It was a semi-automatic hot pocket.
Felony charge for man who used airdrop to send naked selfies to strangers.
Batman. Batman. After you eat the hot pocket, it's not semi-automatic anymore.
Oh yes, it is.
It's
fully automatic when it gets rid of your.
Yeah. An Oklahoma man is facing indecent exposure charges after allegedly using airdrop to send explicit photos of himself to employees at a real estate firm where he was applying for an apartment.
He didn't get that apartment.
No, that might be why he sent the pictures.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Please say that.
Hold on a minute. No, seriously, I'm being serious. Indecent exposure is when you turn up and indecently expose yourself. Sending naked pictures of yourself, that's not indecent exposure because you're not actually there to expose yourself.
All right. Police said that Stajek Helm, 23, earlier this month used an airdrop feature on his phone to transmit photos of his private parts and himself naked in front of a mirror, according to a probable cause filing. Investigators described the alleged offense as indecent exposure via digital means. All right. Helm, seen at the right, went to a Tulsa realtor to apply for an apartment, cops said. The employee at the firm told police they directed Helm to sit at the computer for the application process.
Good Lord.
I'm not sure I want to read any more about this story.
See, if that would have been me, if I would have been the realtor on the receiving end of this shit, I would have looked at them, and then I would have replied, and I probably would have said, execution. 2 out of 10. Pose, 2 out of 10. Genitalia, 2 out of 10.
Yeah. People are getting.
Just write the shit and send it back.
People are getting too fucking weak. I mean,
chances of getting an apartment, 0 out of 10. Go somewhere else.
Exactly.
That when me and Nomad were kids, that kind of behaviour would just, you're not getting the apartment, and they wouldn't have even bothered phoning the police.
They would have. They would have called the ambulance after the guy got his ass beat. What would have happened?
Either that or the token gay person in the office would have sent his own back.
Susan, why does it surprise me? You want surprises, folks? I'll give you a surprise. Here's a surprise. We'll set up our little campsite. We'll go on there, and then look what wanders on in. Dun, dun,
That's
dun,
why these
dun,
safari
dun.
areas.
Oh,
The thing that's
Okay.
getting me is the idiot with the cell phone cam. Okay.
just what? Why do people have the inability to do the shit on landscape?
All right. Nothing against the
Turn
devil
the
lions.
fucking
No,
phone
it's not just that.
sideways. Like,
It's
hi,
not just
Simba.
that. It's not just that, buddy. That's a fucking lion,
Yeah, I know. Hi, Simba.
and he is relatively close.
And
Yeah,
he's
no, I'd be
outside
in the camper.
waiting to be eaten.
I'd be in the camper. I'd be videoing Simba
they've got-
from inside the camper, the RV, the fifth wheel, the whatever.
Can you
And if they
full
go,
screen-
hey, Anissa, come out here. There's a lion. No, I can see it from here through the window. Thanks. I'm
Can you
good.
full screen that again?
Sure.
I'm not petting Simba. I'm
Look.
good.
They've got a safety barrier. Yeah, it's waist high. That lion is a little taller than waist high, and that's not a fully grown lion either.
Like I said, my ass is going to be in the RV taking the video from the seat that I'm sitting in because ain't no way I'm going to be ground level to Simba. Because if Simba has not eaten yet, I don't want to be his first meal of the day.
My ass is going to be in an RV part half a mile away, watching the scene on a drone that is being controlled by VR.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, if you get surprised and then you got to go into the RV, the first thing I'm doing is shoving Mr. Blue Hat here on the ground for a surprise.
Right.
Boom. Okay, you get here. We'll give you a sacrifice because this
All I
guy's
can say-
acting like there's no care in the world, dude.
Yeah,
All I
he's
can
just-
say
he's
is
just
a
out
good
there
job.
chilling.
All I can say is a good job Jensen Quinn wasn't there, because that lion would have probably died from all the hugging.
Don't Jensen kitty.
No, it's not a cat girl.
No, but it's a cat. Jensen would hug it to death.
He
But
probably,
look.
after he fed it, he would feed it first. Trust me.
Yes, he would feed it with the other people on the holiday.
Oh, this one. Yeah, this one.
Okay, now this is an.
Oh, before you go on, do you know what the difference between a bison and a buffalo is?
Bison is an American buffalo.
No, you can't wash your hands in a buffalo.
That's bison, not bison. Anyway,
It's bison the way Jensen talks.
baby bison euthanized after Yellowstone visitor pushed animal out of river. The herd rejected it, Park says.
Sorry, I'm reading what Sean said in the chat. Maddie would be taking pictures for insurance purposes. Joe was dumb enough to stay outside. I want my insurance payment.
All right. Yellowstone National Park staff euthanized a newborn bison after a visitor
Why?
intentionally disturbed the calf, causing its herd to reject the baby, park officials said. Park staff killed the abandoned calf because it was causing a hazardous situation by approaching cars and people along the roadway after its interaction with the visitor. Yellowstone officials said a man approached the newborn bison Saturday in Lamar Valley near the Lamar River and Soda Butte Creek after the struggling calf had been separated from its mother when the herd crossed the river. The man pushed the calf up from the river and onto the roadway. Interference by people can cause wildlife to reject their offspring. Okay, go ahead.
The thing is,
before I give my analysis of this.
the thing is, this sort of thing has happened in natural parks before. As I'm sure Nomad can attest, and they've rejected their calf in and raised it, and managed to successfully reintroduce it to the herd. This can be done. It sounds to me like your wildlife, your park authorities are getting lazy and stupid.
I don't disagree. Manny, what's your opinion?
Kind of figured you'd disagree.
I said I
Or
don't
did you
disagree.
say?
I don't disagree. It's that sometimes, you know, in nature, because of Darwinism and survival of the fittest, you know, I'm of the inclination that maybe there was something wrong with the calf before it was rejected. That's why they were leaving it there and it couldn't cross the stream.
That is entirely possible.
So, you know, he could have fucked up by helping it over across, and then he could have realized that maybe he could try and reintroduce it because they had abandoned it on purpose.
It's possible, but either way, I think that the staff, and I agree with Batman here, the staff could have picked it up, and even if you don't reintroduce it, all right, you could. There are areas in America that raise these domestically.
Yeah.
Okay, you could have easily have fed the calf because I guarantee you that they've got all sorts of wildlife things for saving newborns all over the frickin' place. All right, there was no
Oh, yes.
need necessarily to euthanize this calf. And that's where I start drawing the line here. Sure, was the guy wrong and you want to charge the guy and give him a fine for being an ass and being stupid? Sure, I have no problem with that. But I do have a problem with the staff going, well, fuck it, we're just going to kill it. All right, and then we're going to complain about the guy. You're not any better. Okay, the staff of Yellowstone itself, the park, gets a lot of money. All right, because it's one of the premier visiting tourists from the parks. So the parks put extra money into Yellowstone more than any other park in the United States. They get a lot of money. Okay,
And
from the federal government, right, to keep that park running.
It's funny and kind of annoying for me because when I was younger, I would have loved to have managed to get the United States because one of my dream jobs as a young man was to be a park ranger in one of those national parks.
Yeah, it would have been.
I would have loved that work.
It would have been. There's a lot of people that really try to apply for that, and they love it. The people that do that don't do it for money. I'll give them that. But this staff knew better than to just euthanize this animal. All right, they were. Now I suspect that there was somebody in the upper chains of command that ordered it done. Right. I doubt
Likely
the first people on the ground wanted to do it. All right, but the upper staff probably did. But that person should no longer have a job. There should be an investigation. Honestly, there should be an investigation of who it was that came up and said, "Let's go ahead and euthanize this." Because, like Batman was saying, yes, these animals have been successfully reintroduced after being with humans their entire lives. And what's more, like I said, there are numbers of ranchers in North Dakota, South Dakota that actually breed these things for domestic purposes. And Jensen put it out there. Do they eat it at least? Well, the bison in these areas in the Dakotas is on the menu. You can buy bison steaks. Okay, so this attitude, this to me is just ridiculous. Now, is it costly to do this? Bison have meat on them, yes, but they're not as meaty as cows, for example. Okay, they're just most of that head is not really edible.
Yeah, and cows are not as meaty as buffalo.
True, like the water buffalo, that's true. But I'm not. You don't see them trying to breed water buffaloes in America. There's a reason for that.
I'm on about the Great American Buffalo.
What are you talking about?
I said I'm on about the Great American Buffalo.
The Great American Buffalo?
Yeah, which was called a buffalo, but is actually a bison.
Right. What about it?
There's a shit ton of meat on that.
For pound, though.
The
cheaper.
Native Americans hunted them nearly to extinction, and the settlers almost finished the job off.
The Native Americans did hunt them extensively, but because they did roam, and they're very, very.
My mistake. It was the railroad companies that nearly hunted them to extinction.
Yes, the railroad companies did go out of their way to try and kill the buffalo. Because of the damage they would do to the tracks just by roaming across them. And when they decided to stop, right?
Yeah.
All right, and just loiter onto the tracks and you guys looking at his watch going, when are we going to go? And they would at times spend a day and a half, 2 days waiting for the buffalo to move on. Right? So it kind of wrecks schedules. Right? And other problems that resulted. So the rail companies did go out of their way to try and end the threat of these things. But what I was referring to, Batman, is pound for pound. All right, it's cattle are cheaper to produce, all right, than buffalo for food.
One amusing thing I remember reading is apparently when you had those huge herds of buffalo wandering the American plains were far more fertile. I wonder why.
Not really, right? I mean, if you ever go to I don't think people
I
understand
wonder why
they are today. This is one of the most fertile areas of America. This is one of the breadbaskets of America. If you go into Nebraska, even South Dakota, the only reason North Dakota is not as fertile is it's fertile. It's just flipping cold. Okay, for too much of the year, it is frickin' frozen tundra shit. Okay, but starting at South Dakota, moving through Nebraska, Kansas, and all that, those areas provide the all sorts of food for America. Most of your cattle and livestock production comes from that area. Okay, so it's still very, 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 very productive, and they keep it that way. You know, the farmers aren't stupid. Not like the guy who decided to do farming for alligators, or excuse me, crocodile. Crocodile farm boss eaten alive after 40 of his own animals pounced.
Whoops.
It's clear his last name was not Dundee.
Whoops. He didn't have a cat.
40, he didn't have a cat.
No, I say that because I remember years ago there was a video of this cat at this alligator farm in I think it was Miami, or a gator farm in the bayou where they were, tourists would pay to look at gators. There's one gator coming out of the water, and I swear to God, this house cat batted him back down into the fucking water because that gator didn't want nothing to do with that cat.
Well, that may have been that gator, but it wasn't 40 of them either. Right? 40 crocodiles killed a Cambodian farmer today while he was attempting to wrangle one of his reptiles. The crocodiles pounced, attacking him until he was dead, said May Sabri, okay, chief of police at the Siem Reap commune where the man's farm was located. The 72-year-old victim, well, he was on his last legs anyway. All right.
Yeah, like I said, if his surname had been Dundee, he would have been all right.
All right. Luan Nam had reportedly entered the enclosure so he could remove one of the crocodiles from the cage where it had laid eggs. You were just asking to be attacked.
That was
it was nesting, and you wanted to go play tag with it.
This dude, Cambodian. As an American, I am going to use the only phrase my dad ever taught me, and it is in Vietnamese, but it fits. This guy is Boku Dinky Dao. Which, for those of you that don't know what that means, crazy. The dude is cuckoo.
All of a sudden, the reptile shepherd was beset by dozens of the animals, which ripped his body to shreds, leaving the paddock awash in his blood.
Dumbass. So my question is, does he get a Darwin Award?
I bet you one thing that really flashed through his eyes was he would have hallucinated that he was in a boat in a creek, sadly watching his paddle float away.
Right, now, this next, we only got a couple stories left here. So
he's got a nice chest.
Yeah, she's got personality.
Who cares about
this is a weather reporter in Miami reporting on the weather. Obviously, she's behind or in front of a green screen here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. She's got a nice chest.
And she's
got a good personality.
doing her weather
Who cares
report.
about personality?
She's doing her weather report. Everything's going through until, oh my God! The pigeon on the screen scares the crap out of her.
Run that again. Run that again.
You want to run it again? Okay.
Yeah.
Won't take
just
long.
let it play naturally.
which is interesting because normally they don't show
Yeah, it'll be a live feed.
what's going on the green screen to the announcers, right? They're looking at
Mhm.
something else. This woman looked like she was being attacked by a pterodactyl. That's what she's like. Oh my god! And she tried to die. I was just waiting for her to dive underneath a chair.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's Miami, so it's probably adios mio. Okay.
I mean,
You know, if I'd have been running the green screen, it wouldn't have been that worried. I would have slowly faded out the background into a nighttime shot of the same place.
No, good grief.
Would have freaked her out as well.
Might have. She might have just got a confused look on her face. All right, until the raptor came and got her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it wouldn't be a pigeon; it would be a raptor.
Yes. Okay, final story. Final story of the day. Squirrel spotted munching on leftover chicken tender.
And
Okay, let's play the video
wonder
here.
where TC is.
Right. Well, of course, we get a commercial right off the bat or an ad.
Yay, ad. Okay.
I can't stand ads.
Me either.
Right.
Nope.
And this one doesn't let you skip it, unfortunately. All right.
That's the UK with an American invading squirrel.
Now, it's an American invading squirrel?
Yeah, it's an American squirrel. It's a grey squirrel. They're an invasive species in the UK.
Are they?
Yes.
My concern isn't that they're an invasive species. That's a chicken nugget. These things are becoming carnivores. All right, we're gonna have to start doing something about these freaking squirrels.
Squirrels are primarily herbivores, but they are known for omnivorous behavior as well.
Okay, now here's a stupid question from somebody in the U.S.
Yeah,
why the hell is it called a chicken goose in the UK? Why the hell can't you just call it a chicken tender?
That's probably London. Here we call them chicken nuggets. Can you put the sound on so we can hear this shit?
He goes robbing a chicken goose. I still am concerned that these things are now becoming carnivorous, and they're plotting. They've already convinced some of the snakes to start taking down these electrical things. There was a story the other day about a bunch of ground squirrels, along with a mongoose, terrorizing a cobra.
Yeah, and by the way, Jensen, yes, we ignored your joke. Actually, Nomad, it's not the squirrels that are plotting it. They're working for Jensen.
Oh, is that what it is? Jensen
Yeah.
Is the mastermind on these things?
I wouldn't go that far, but he's in charge.
Oh. They just figured, what the hell?
Okay, look.
Well, you used to.
Here's a question before we continue the story. Okay, MC, is it a bone-out wing or a fucking chicken nugget?
They said it was chicken tender, so I assume it's.
Yeah, he did. When he's on live stream, it's Nomad.
While fried chicken is not normally on the menu for the squirrel, the animal is omnivorous and will sometimes turn to eating insects such as caterpillars, birds' eggs, and even nestlings, according to the Natural History Museum.
Yeah.
The squirrel was previously seen nibbling on a discarded bone in London. Okay. I think that this thing is
no, like it says,
not one of your normal freaking squirrels.
It's an omnivore. I mean, our own primitive ancestors were omnivores, but would mainly eat vegetation and on occasion, meat, like chimpanzees do in the wild, and bonobos. Much to the upsetting, which is news that really upsets the vegans, that even bonobos behave almost exactly like chimpanzees, especially when it comes to meat.
There are some interesting stories about how the apes are now starting to mimic human beings and doing things that they've seen humans doing, including getting spears to spear chicken, or not chicken rather, but fish from rivers and stuff. Orangutans hanging over rivers using a spear to catch a fish.
There have
So-
been stories of chimpanzees using fire before.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, no, that's because normally the locals say the chimpanzees using fire and go and wipe out the troop.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going in an interesting direction, but I did not know that squirrels were omnivores. I'm a little bit concerned that these things are taking over. Now, can I ask another question? You said it's an invasive species.
The native species of squirrel is the red squirrel. It's smaller. It's not as aggressive, and they're being driven into almost extinction by the grey squirrels, which
We got
came
pl-
from America.
We got plenty of red squirrels here as well. The question I have is how did they let a gray
Now,
squirrel
you've got
go
American
into your
red
country?
squirrels. So you've got American red squirrels, which I think are larger and a bit more aggressive than the red squirrels of England
Could be.
or the British Isles. Zoos, I believe.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, because it wouldn't take much for them to escape. Let's be honest; these things are
Oh no!
quite crafty.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
here's the one for you. Back in the 70s, there was not far from where I live. There was a safari park, Lambton Lion Park, it was called, right?
Monkey Flame
They had-
2024.
They had baboons. They had baboons there, right? Every week, literally every week, the baboons escaped. Every sodding week.
Yeah.
They'd put a different system to stop the baboons. With it, by the end of the week, the baboons had figured it out.
The only way to stop a baboon is with a gunshot. I'll be honest with you. Baboons
Yep.
are terrifying. They are really terrifying creatures.
They can actually be surprisingly gentle with humans if they have a mind to be.
Oh yeah. If they're in a troop, they have no fear of anything, including
If they're
lions,
by
and tigers, or
themselves.
anything else.
If they're by themselves, they don't have much fear of anything because a baboon can do something that a lion can't. It can pick up a rock and throw it.
Well, that's true, but the lions can bite them. They normally run from lions if they're by themselves, but if they're in a troop, lions steer clear, rightly so.
Yeah.
Because those things are absolutely vicious.
I've seen documentaries where you get two baboons. They'll use the trees to do it, obviously, but they've driven lines off their kills before just by grabbing rocks and running up a tree and then pelting the bloody lines with them.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, the baboons they truly are terrifying. All right,
Yep.
everybody, that's all the stories that I got for today.
Yep, that's it. You heard him.
it.
You heard him. It's time to go. Yeah. This is not a charity. This is not a DOS house. Bugger off.
And Batman, do you want to say goodbye to the folks that are banning? I appreciate you coming out.
Oh, yeah, thanks for coming. We're done.
Yeah, go on, son off. You heard her.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, son
Bye-bye.
off.
And we're done.